Hey guys, welcome to another episode of El Jefe Shop Shop. This week, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but the title probably tells you. But first of all, I have a footpath. So I finally got a footpath for the shed. I'm super stoked about it. It makes the whole thing look a whole lot nicer. So this is 0.9 meters, which is the same as your standard footpath. And then the front is 1.5 meters, which is quite wide. It's big enough for the crown forklift that I've got, the little, this guy just here. So we had to get that down here once the crown's not in the way, obviously. So I've got a time lapse of the guys doing this, which I'll throw in now. Alright, so once the footpath was done, I started sorting out the parts. All of this stuff came from behind the white box and in the driveway. So a lot of it's K30 stuff, there is a lot of K20 stuff as well. So if you do need anything, hit me up. A lot of this is probably going to end up in the bin, so prices are cheap. And there's a lot of stuff here. And then around here is basically K20 stuff. Plenty of windows, if anyone needs a window. Lots of K20 stuff down here as well. And lots of tail lights. Got a welding trolley, a couple sets of wheels. So if you need anything, hit me up. A lot of this will be for sale probably before this episode goes up. But it's going to be nice once this is all organised and everything's either gone or sorted. So as you can see, this area is pretty tidy now. Just got a little bit of scrap steel, or like steel for fabrication stuff. Got the chassis, got a Merc rear end, a couple gas tanks. Not a whole lot around here anymore. Another set of wheels for the truck, which Luke gave me for my truck because they don't fit his anymore. So thank you very much for Luke. Alright, so coming into the white box, we've got a K motor, which I'll probably keep. Got some stuff from childhood things. Got a wagon tailgate, which I'll be keeping. Some stout stuff, which I'll probably make a wall hanging piece or something. A couple of spare diffs. Bunch of K20 bumpers, which I need to do something about. Sort out and work out what I'm keeping. And then a bunch of empty 20 litre containers, which are super handy. Got some doors back there, which are K20. And then I got some C63 doors. Got a bonnet, which I'm keeping for a K20. And then all those tubs there are all Mercedes parts. So slowly getting through all the stuff that I've got, and then I need to sort all the stuff that's in the shed. So coming around the front, we got some scrap steel which needs to go, another diff for that chassis which has got to go, and then the plan here is to move the Dodge cab and the A-frame down the side of the shed there, and then we'll pull the chassis out, lift up this box and move that against the fence, and then get rid of the base that it's on. Also sell the chassis, and then these two will be out of the way. The trailer can get put into the driveway somewhere. The box will be empty. I can go get my wagon from Dad's house, which I'm super keen for. So the whole driveway will be pretty clean. We've got a whole bunch more room where this box is, and we can start digging into this shed, get all the parts out of there, get the cars out of there, and start adding power in there and in there, because I have the wiring now and I have all the lights. I just need to get the power points and run it all, and then get Dale back to help me actually hook it up to power. So it's coming along, it's just a very slow process. Then we also have to get the ground leveled again, because it started getting uneven because I keep driving on it. And then we're going to do a fence from the corner here, all the way across to the corner of this shed. And then behind there will be all gravel and dolomite type stuff, and in front will be all grass. And then probably going to add another piece of driveway from the corner just here, sort of through there, and have like a big 4-meter gate so you can get the truck in there with the trailer and stuff, and then this big sliding gate. So should be good. Probably another year away at this rate, but we're getting there. So coming into the shed, we've got the toyaways, which is going to get work done very soon, I hope. But I do need to do some stuff to the K25 first, because I have some other people that are waiting on me to do some stuff. Got the Toyota sign out of the white box. Got a bunch of my stuff still, which I need to organise. And then we got the 25, which I was hoping to work on today. I need to put the rad support panel back in the front and put the engine back in. and make sure I have got clearance everywhere, or make clearance everywhere to have the engine as far back as I can, because I need to do that before they can make me the front end that they're making. That's MVE and Speed Garage, where I do a little bit of work every now and again. I haven't been there for like 2 months because I've been at work, other work. So they're making me a custom front end, cross member, not 100% sure what we're actually doing, but cross member, probably lower control arms, maybe caster arms, possibly struts, all sorts of stuff. So that'll be really, really cool. But I need to get the engine back in, get the rad support back on, and let them take some more measurements, because the 3D modeling we did and the information I had about the car don't really line up, because the 3D modeling is saying that the bonnet's not going to fit, and Tim, who did the engine mounts originally, they have been changed since, but the guy who did the engine mounts originally, there was definitely clearance for the bonnet. So we need to work out who's in the wrong there. I'm going to say that when the engine mounts were changed, the engine moved spots, obviously, and now it doesn't fit, but when Tim did it, it did fit. So gonna start there, which I was hoping to do today, but I'm waiting on some rust converter and some paint and stuff for the inside of the chassis rails. So that's going to be probably next week, I hope. And then we'll get onto the tow ace, try and get some steering happening, try and get some brakes happening, and get it running again. So then onto the truck. I do have the Subaru now as a daily, so this thing has been sitting since, which is a bit sad but also awesome. So this is exactly what I wanted it for, was just to sit here, and when I need it I can use it, and when I don't need it I can drive something else. So we need to cut down the headboard, recap that off, and make some tie down points up the top. And then I've also got another whole wiring loom to go on it with a bunch of lights. So there'll be lights on top of the headboard, lights on the back of the truck. I've got a set of spotties on the front which I haven't wired in, and then I've probably got another pair of light bars I might put on as well. So a bunch of stuff to do to this as well, which will be coming up soon, hopefully. And then onto the Falcon, which I guess we'll work on today, because I haven't got a whole lot else to do. So I did get keys in mail finally. We got 4 new locks. So this one's for the door, this one's also the door, the boot, and then the ignition barrel, and 4 spare keys. So they're all key alike, and the 4 keys obviously match. So they can go into this thing and the doors, and make it actually be able to lock it and unlock it, and use the key and put the cover back on, because that's not super handy. So I do also have a set of rims for this thing, but I don't have any tyres, so we're going to wait until I can organise that to get some tyres for this thing. And then I need to work out that coolant issue. It drops all of it, so work that out. And also the leads, because they were sparking against the head, and Dale said it was having that issue a while back, and it was like all of the cylinders are all trashed. So set of leads and fix the coolant problem, and it should run and drive like well, so we'll see. And this is an EF. I got told it was an EL and I never checked, so a bunch of people corrected me in the last video. That's fine. If I am wrong, ever, correct me. But yeah, this is an EF, and apparently the main difference is the injection system. So an EL has a dizzy, and an EF like this one has coil packs. So the more you know, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to move this thing so I can put the keys in it. I don't know if it runs still, because it's been a while. Perfect. Alright, so I've just moved the car into the doorway of the shed here. Going to replace this ignition barrel, and also going to do the doors. So I just move closer to the tools basically, and then I'll put it in the shed when I'm done tonight. So rip these door cards off and swap the locks over, and then should be able to just push that button on the top of here, turn the key a little bit, it should pull out, as you always should, of course. And then same on that door, and then the boot lock is already apart, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, so I had to disconnect the steering column ignition barrel thingy, which is much easier done when you've replaced it with Allen keys. Please don't steal my car. So I got this off now, so just turn the key and then push in that pin there, and then this should pull out. Alright, so it's a little bit fiddly. You need to turn the key to 1, push in the little pin, and then pull the whole lot out. And then when you're putting the new one back in, you have to get it in the same orientation, otherwise you will not get it out. But this is the new key going back in. It's pretty much that simple. Alright, so I got the cover back on and the barrel back in. I did end up taking the barrel back out, putting the cover on and then putting the barrel back in. So this cover is a bit of a pain with all the wiring underneath there, but got it on, got the barrel back in, so now we can move on to the doors. So next thing to do is the driver's side door. So probably take this mirror cap off. You normally have to take these screws out down the side, one for the window winder, one inside the door handle normally, and then a couple clips. There's another screw just there I saw, another one there, then normally a couple of clips on the bottom and slide the whole thing up and then off. So let's try and do that. Alright, so we've got the door apart. There is no clips on these Falcons, there is only screws. So there's a bunch of screws along the bottom and up the side. So we've got the door off. You have to take the handle off as well, and there's a screw in the pocket which I didn't mention. So in there, which you probably cannot see, is the door lock. So we'll take that out from the back, push it out the front, swap it over and then push the new one in, put the clip back in. Alright, so I've got the clip off. There is a 10mm there, and a 10mm just there that hold the door handle on, and then you can pull this clip out from just in there. This is horrible to film. Alright, so now we have the door lock free. I need to push it out the front, maneuver the door handle, disconnect it, and then put it on the new one. Alright, so undoing those two 10mm gets this plastic door handle free. There is a door mechanism that we should probably try to disconnect in there, but that's really difficult, but so is this, so we'll see how we go. So I just need to pull the door lock out, which is right here, disconnect it from the actual lock, and then put the new one on. Alright, so I've got the door handle off. You just need to pry this little clip up and get it off of the threaded rod which goes into there. So that was pretty easy. And then getting the lock off, I had to break the plastic because it would not let go. And as you can see, someone's tried to break into this before. So I've got the new lock in there. It is connected and I can put the clip back in and then try and put the door handle back on. This is actually pretty tricky, just because of the fiddliness of it. But the locks also have an L and an R on them. So this is the right door obviously, so right hand lock. Alright, so I got the driver's side back together. This is a different language to me. It's no Toyota, but I'm onto the second side, so I'll start pulling this apart, change the lock, put it back together, and then I'll show you how to do the boot. Alright, so the next thing to do here is the boot lock. So I've got the new lock and the original retainer, and as you can see I've already pulled out the little clip. So the new key actually does come with a new one of those clips, so I'll probably rip that one off and just install this as it is. Alright, so boot locks are generally pretty easy. Get that little tab off, get the new key and barrel. So chuck that through the boot, and then you need to just hook it onto this little guy here, and then put the retainer back in. So I'm going to do it off camera because I only have two hands, and show you what it looks like when it's done. Got the retainer back on, got the wire hooked up to the new end of the barrel. Fair bit of free play so this thing can actually shut properly. And then we'll just get the key and give it a go. Alright, so hopefully this works because I don't want to climb in the boot again. Sweet. So all of the door locks are changed and the ignition barrel as well. So the next thing to try is to actually lock the doors. But before I do that, I'm going to put the window down, just in case. And then I'm not sure if once I lock this and unlock it, if the smart lock will turn back on and I have to wait 25 minutes again. So that's the only thing that will stop me from driving this thing regularly, is if the doors lock and then the smart lock turns on. But we shall see in just a moment. But now we've locked the car, all the central locking works, unlock, lock. Alright, let's see if the smart lock's turned back on. Sure hasn't. Winner. Alright, next thing to do is to see where this water's coming from. So I'm going to try and fill this up, hopefully find a leak, fix the leak. Happy days, hopefully. Also need to get some coil leads, but I don't want to do that if the head gasket's bad or something like that. So we'll work out where this leak is first, and then we'll maybe do leads if everything checks out. Alright, so we got the Falcon on jack stands. Everything's reasonably dry. You can see a few little drips here. Hopefully that will help me find the leak. So I'm just going to rip this panel off underneath and see if I can find anything that is dripping. So the good news is I can't see anything broken. The bad news is I can't see anything leaking. So I'm going to just keep digging in. I might take this cover off, see if I can see the radiator split or something. I don't want to take the radiator out if I can avoid it because of the trans lines, but I might take the fans off. I don't really want to put water in it while it's in the shed, but that might be the next option. So I'll take this cover off, maybe add some water, see if we can see anything better. Alright, so I got this front trim panel off. It shows me nothing except more spiders. And I took the intake off, which also doesn't give me anything. So I'd like to take the fans off, but that looks like a real pain in the bum. And there's also more spiders down there, and I don't really want to get bitten by a redback today. So I might put some water in the system and have another look, see if I can find where it's coming from. Because I'm a bit lost at the moment. Alright, so this one's going to be really fun to show you. So if you can see straight down the bottom there, dead center of the screen, there's a small pile of water, a little puddle just there. So I thought that must have been coming from a cracked end tank or something like that. Doesn't seem like it is. However, spin you around. If you can look in the fan, you can see all the fins are wet. You can even see a little bit of moving water on the left hand side of the screen there. I think the actual end tank is cracked off of the fins and the actual core. Try and move this fan around a bit. So I think either the hoses in the radiator have gone bad, like the tubes, or the end tank's cracked off. So either way, the radiator's come out, which is not what I was hoping. But that's where we're up to now, so I may as well take it out. So I've cracked out a tool that I don't use very often, radiator pressure tester. As you can see, it's all pretty much brand new. So just need to work out how to use it first, and then just test the radiator. I'm going to see if I can put some water in it, chuck the tester on really quickly, and then see if I can actually see it coming out of the radiator on that cracked end tank. More for research and testing and learning rather than actually discovering the fault. So funny story, this actually does work. It doesn't hold enough pressure at all to get anything on the gauge, and as you can see, the water's just busting out. So just going to pull the radiator, I guess. I just have to disconnect the battery and pull it out. So rest in peace, smart lock hack. Let's hope it works next time. So radiator's out, I'll test that in a minute, but this Falcon just continues to want to go on the floor. So clean this up and then I'll get to the radiator in just a second. Alright, so I got the radiator out. The fans were super simple. There's 2 bolts on the top, one on either side, and then you just lift it out, and then the 2 plugs obviously. The hoses are easier when the battery's out, and then take the fans out as well, it's heaps easier. The airbox thing just fell off basically. Power steering guy, there's the cap for the power steering and then 1 bolt on the side. Then the trays underneath, they were pretty easy, and the radiator had 1 bolt on either side, as you can see just there, and 3 hoses and the 2 trans lines. So I was just cleaning the radiator up to see if I can find the leak, and I've put some water in it to try and clean it, and you can see it almost immediately. That should not be doing that. So this radiator is absolutely knackered. It doesn't even hold enough water to basically come out of there with any pressure. So this thing is going in the scrap, and I'm going to have to try and get another one. Alrighty, so it's a new day. I picked up a radiator off of Marketplace yesterday, last night after I pulled the Falcon apart. So hopefully that's a bit better than the original one. And I also grabbed the new radiator hoses from the shops on the way home from work today. So going to pull the Falcon forwards a bit, clean the front of the engine and that bottom of the radiator support bit that I missed when I did it last time, and then we'll put the new radiator in and hopefully get this thing back on the road. So this is the new mystery marketplace radiator. As you can see, it holds water a little bit better than the other one in that it does. So that one's trash and this one is hopefully good. So I'm going to put it in the car and put the new hoses on and hopefully get this thing back together. Alright, so I slapped all that stuff back together. Now let's see if I have to wait 25 minutes for smart lock again, or if it'll just fire up. It just fires up. So smart lock's not very smart, but you know, we kind of already knew that. So next thing I need to do, probably power steering fluid and trans fluid, and run this for a while, make sure the engine's not got a blown head gasket or something like that, and keep topping up the water as we go. So I'll just do that sort of stuff and let it run for a bit and report back in a minute. So I'm just letting the Falcon warm up. The gauge is just starting to move, but it doesn't have the thermostat, so it's going to take a while for it to warm up. But I just found what Emily was talking about, which I couldn't see on the video last time. I think she needs some new leads, lads. So the shop does have those, Sprints has those, but I do want to warm this up first and make sure that it hasn't got a blown head gasket, because I'd hate to spend money on things that I don't really need for later on. Little hint that this isn't staying, but just let it warm up and see if we can find any more problems. Alright, this rig has been idling for over half an hour now, and as far as I know, other than the misfire, it's hardly gotten warm. The heater is on just to circulate, and all of this stuff seems fine as well. Put the cap back on about halfway through and it's still running pretty cool. Obviously the misfire is not great, but I didn't want to jump into that without knowing that the engine wasn't stuffed. So I'll get some leads tonight. I'm going to go out and drop some stuff off, so I'll grab some leads when I do that and put them on, and that'll probably be the end of the video. Alright, so it's a new day. The leads have been changed, everything's back together, and it actually runs really well now. And there's no lightning trying to escape. So it turns out the old Falcon's a bit of a pain in the ass to change the leads on. You just take the whole intake off and the airbox out. Probably don't have to, but I did. And then put my arm in through here. And then the coil packs are in the back here. So you have to kind of look from the top and feed the leads back and forwards, but she's all done. Runs good now, so that's probably it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching as always, and we'll see you next week for some modifications.